And if you
Okay,
want to,
guys,
you can.
our time is yours right now. Our time is yours. You have us in your hot little hands at your fingertips. Hopefully, you have tuned into every single one of the trainings. They have all been amazing, and I'm not talking about my own. I have, if you have not learned, then you were not on the calls, right? But this is now a time to put a bow on everything. You know, you've got us in front of you. Maybe you watched, I don't know, Sarah's, and you just something's popping in your mind. You just have a question. Like this is the time to go back and ask some questions. So we're gonna let the chat light up and see what happens over here.
Do we ship anywhere in the world, say if a customer is in the military? So, Rachel, if you want to message me specifically where someone is in the military, we can send that to support, um, and we can ask for you. Let's see here.
Also, you guys just realize that these trainings built on each other. So make sure you're watching all of them because we really set them up so it was step by step by step by step. Start with day one, go all the way through, and that'll help you with your flow. So if you've missed one, make sure you go back and watch them. I'm going to rewatch all of them too.
Okay,
Right.
we've got a great question here from Patty. I'm going to answer. She says, I've had two people ask me for info. I send them the video, and then I get ghosted when I start asking questions. How do I get them to talk? So, one thing that you can start doing going forward is when I send somebody a video, I say, like, okay, I'm going to send this to you today. What are the chances you can watch it tonight? Because I would love to call you tomorrow on my lunch break. Are you available around noon? I always set up a time to call them, right? And I have learned that people will just kind of, not always, but oftentimes do what you ask. So if I say, what are the chances you can watch this tonight? Sometimes I'll say, what are the chances you can watch this tonight instead of whatever Netflix series you're watching? Because I would love to connect with you tomorrow, maybe on my lunch break, or I'd love to connect with you tomorrow after I get home from work. If I call you at about 5 o'clock, will you be home? So they're probably going to reply to that. So that's something that you can do to mitigate, right? But not having done that because you didn't know to do that, what do you do now? At this point, honestly, just pleasantly persistent. I am pleasantly persistent. I just keep following up. Hey, happy Friday. Hope you're having an awesome weekend. I am home all weekend, just chilling Saturday and Sunday. What are the chances you're available for about 10 or 15 minutes? I'd love to connect. You will not get any strong arming from me. The purpose of the connection is for me to answer your questions and provide perspective, and then you're going to make the best decision for yourself. Can you be available Saturday or Sunday? I'm just pleasantly persistent. Once it gets to like 3 or 4 or 5 messages, sometimes I change the tone a little bit that says like, hey, I have been this, if it feels like I'm stalking you, it's because I am. I really, really, really want to partner with you, but I also recognize that not everyone is going to be excited about Turn On, and you might be one of those people. If you are feeling like this is not for you, this will not impact our friendship. Thumbs up, thumbs down, all good. Where are you sitting with it right now, or what are you thinking right now? Sometimes I just want to give them permission also too to let me off the hook.
I love that.
Okay, so that's how I answer that.
Hey, Sarah, do you want to answer this one right here? What do you do to motivate new associates to grab their attention to move forward with starting their business? This is something I'm challenged with once they sign up to get them to move forward.
Yeah. Well, so first, are you getting them on a welcome call right away? Is that happening? A lot of times people, if you don't get in front of them, connect with them within their first couple of days, they'll lose a lot of that excitement just because they're new. They just don't know, right? So that's a really big one is getting them on a welcome call or get them, if you're like, oh, there isn't one for a week, get them in a 3-way chat with your upline. So you can start getting them through the steps. When people join my team, I give them an action step right away. We're doing immediately, we're ATMing. Before we even get on the welcome call, I'm like, okay, first things first, let's think of 10 people that you know. And if you guys look in their boards app, you're going to see, and I think it's in our website too, you're going to see where it says grab 10 people and have them add them to the testimony group. And action is always going to keep them a little excited. So even if we can get them to take a small action until you can get them on that welcome call, that's going to be huge. So I would say start with that. Get them in a chat with your upline if they're not already. Get them on an overview. I had a couple people that even last night, I haven't been able to, I'm getting their welcome calls done today. And I was like, hey, get on this overview tonight. They're already in the business, but they were so excited after that overview. They're like, I cannot wait for tomorrow for my welcome call. So use the tools. Get them in front of some tools and get them into an action where they have to take an action, and that's what's going to kind of keep them engaged. And also know, guys, that not everybody is going to want to go crazy with this. Some people just don't, and that's okay because it's a numbers game, right? And I know sometimes we work so hard for that one, right? And then you're like, don't you want to do this? But just know that everybody's going to be at a different level, and you also don't know when their life is going to change. So don't ever shut that door on anybody. Just stay excited with them and keep checking in with them and try to get them engaged in some team things. Get them in front of a tool. That's going to help a lot too.
So Stephanie Dawn wants to know what we are doing on welcome calls. And so Stephanie, did you yourself do a welcome call when you joined? And if you haven't, I would recommend doing one, and then you will know what we do on them if you haven't done one yet.
And actually, can I pipe in there and just give you
Yeah.
guys a 1 second? So everyone's welcome calls are different, but if you just and there is no proper welcome call. But if you think about what is the overarching purpose, beginning with the end in mind, the purpose of a welcome call is to make this new person, Sarah, super excited and ready to move forward. So when I get somebody on my welcome call, the first thing that I ask is I say, okay, so as your leader, I'm going to meet you where you at. And everyone comes here with different intentions. There are some people that say, if I don't make $200,000 this year, I'm going to be angry. And some people just want to get their products, like covered. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being, I will literally spin a sign on the corner in a bikini. If that's what it takes to make 100 grand, that's what I'm doing. And a 1 is, I literally just wanted like a discount, a couple dollar discount on my product. Where do you sit? That is a question I ask everyone. And if you ask that question to everyone, your welcome calls will run themselves. Because once they answer that question for me, like, I don't know, maybe a 3, or if they're 3, 4, or 5, I'm like, okay, then we need to get you into action. There is a run to Jade bonus that I don't want you to lose. If you get that run to Jade bonus, you've made about $1,000 in your first month. The 750 plus whatever commissions it took to get that volume, you're at about $1,000. So that is the first step. We need to do your Facebook Live launch yesterday. Let's get that going. So that's a 3, 4, or 5. If there are a 1 or a 2, I don't really talk about run to Jade or all that type of stuff. My next question is, okay, well, how about this? How do you feel about maybe just getting like a half a dozen customers so that those couple $100 will cover your product? They all say, yes, that sounds great. That's a great idea. Great. Let me do a Facebook Live launch for you. I will basically do an infomercial on your page. And if you can't get a half a dozen customers from my infomercial, then I haven't done my job. How about we just do that? But what is the common denominator? They're all doing a launch.
Yep.
That's how my welcome call goes. Tell me about yourself. What made you say yes? Super excited. My scale of 1 to 5, that's everyone's going to get that question. And the call runs itself after that. Is that helpful? Put a 2 in the chat if that is easy. That's so easy. Let them do the talking. You just have to ask the right questions.
All right. Who else do we have here? How do we ship this? How do you ship the story reach out? I see you watching my stories, want more info, that say they would look at more info, to asking questions to learn more about who they are, pain points, etc. I mean, I feel like the obvious answer is just to ask them, what are your health goals? Do you, what are some things that are concerning for you? Just be, and I know sometimes it can feel like you need the most perfect script, and you don't. You just need to be human and just ask questions. So that would be like if you were having any normal conversation, you would just ask the next question. So what would the next question be? If they say, yes, I want more information, well, can you tell me really quickly about what your health struggles are so that I can point you in the right direction of the information, so that then you know what to tag them in and what to share with them. Does that make sense, Ashley?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think sometimes it's just like, oh, when we talk about like having conversations and being relatable, it's like, I feel like I'm not getting that information out of the people, but it's like, I'm putting them in front of the information. But then it's like, okay, well, how do I help them relate it so they see the value?
Yeah.
Well, and if you're sending them the info, you send them the video, they've already taken the first step. So don't feel weird about continuing that conversation. They already asked for the information, you send them a video, and then that's where you're going to follow up. Or, add them to the testimony group or whatever. Well, I feel like once they ask for that, you've made that connection, they're like, yeah, I'm interested. Well, the door is wide open. You're mine forever now.
I agree with that statement.
Well, and so Carol says, do you recommend welcome calls for people who have been an associate for a few months? Absolutely. When Sarah and I started the welcome calls in January of 2023, we weren't in like some crazy amount of momentum or anything like that. We started with the existing associates. And as they would bring in new people, as we were doing welcome calls and live launches, and they would bring in new people, then it started being the new people. But we were going backwards from June of 2022 to January of 2023. We were trying to cover all those associates. So the answer to your question is yes, Carol, I would for sure. Aaron Parker, thank you for being so good in the comments.
He's all over it.
I know. So this is a great one. Nicolette, you'd probably be great with this one. How do you respond to someone who's telling me that Manjaro is better than Activate because Manjaro targets GLP-1 and GLP-2? I didn't want to get into a debate about AMPK versus GLP-2. What would be your response to that?
Yeah, I mean, people are going to have their opinions, and I would respond back saying something like, listen, I value your opinion and what you might think but here's what I know is Activate is literally helping people in the same capacity that these shots are without any of the side effects. And people aren't having to worry about what is life going to look like when they get off the shot because they have this natural way of boosting their GLP-1. And shoot, there are even people who are taking it with the shot. It's your choice. But if you want to naturally boost this hormone that exists in your body while also increasing your AMPK, getting rid of inflammation, and experiencing other health benefits, then I would definitely recommend giving this a try for 30 days. Can I tag you in some testimonials?
Love
Probably
that.
a voice memo situation.
Sarah, this one's going to be for you. I had someone ask me if the B vitamins are methylated. How would I get that info?
Yeah, I do always, you can message Trinot to get that, but almost all of our products are methylated and chelated. I need to write down there's just a couple that aren't, but yes, our B vitamins are. Yeah, most of them are. So I say that a lot because that's hot. People want to know that. So almost all of our products are methylated and chelated.
Oh, so Nancy says she has men that says he's interested in the financial side of things. And so I know this conversation because we talked about it a little bit at Legacy Makers Live. And it's men on the internet that are probably not even who they claim to be on the internet. And so, Nancy, and if they're not interested in watching a video like Aaron's suggesting, I would just move on. And I don't even give it any time or thought. Synara, Sarah, Nicolette, when you get weird men in your inbox, how do you handle it?
I'll be honest, I really don't engage much with men at all. I just don't. I don't get asked it very often, and I'll be polite and courteous about it, but you can pretty much tell fairly quickly if they're actually interested. And most men are not going to be super comfortable reaching out to you either. They would rather reach out to a dude. So I'll be like, hey, let me get you in a chat with my friend Aaron. Let me get you in a chat with my friend so-and-so. And that'll be a good determining factor.
So honestly, guys, weird men, 100% I'm blocking them. But I have guys on my team. I just recruited one the other day. So he says, I have a man that says he's interested, but I'm not nervous what his true intentions are. Why would you be nervous about that? I mean, unless he's been like weird with you in some other way or creepy, but like to me, there's no reason why men can't be in this business. So I treat him just the way I would treat anybody else. Our products are for men and for women. Our compensation plan works for both. Why would you get nervous about that? I want as many men on my team as possible. They're going to reach out to a whole different market that I don't have. And there's no reason why they can't grow and build the same way a woman can. So I don't know that I understand that question, Nancy.
I think it's easy to kind of qualify them as well. Like, great, I'd love to send over more information. What's got you curious?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Ask the question.
I know she's been getting a lot of like
Retired military.
yeah, retired military men that aren't really retired military men. And I would just, Nancy, I know your heart is just to love on everyone that you meet. And I would just say, it just make it kind of a standard for you with those types of accounts that you just aren't going to respond to them unless it's an actual friend or a friend of a friend. I would just move on and not worry too much about that. If they have two first names, single and are in the military, I just block and delete. There you go, Jennifer. That's right.
And if they have massive muscles and look like they could enter a Mr. Universe competition, you're probably getting catfished.
Right. It's a catfish situation. Lisa said, I'm glad I'm not the only one. See, Nancy, you and Lisa are in the club.
If he's a Nigerian prince, if you have a Nigerian prince asking for your routing number, you might want to block that person.
If you get a message from me on TikTok, it's actually not me and I'm not asking you for money. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Funny.
Tina, you've got like 4 TikToks at this point.
I know that they just don't stop making them. You can, yes, that's right. Any more questions, you guys? Anyone? I feel like that.
Can I just ask instead of type it out?
Oh, for sure.
I'm trying to type pretty fast here. So I actually woke up to a lady that I was messaging last night, that said, yes, I am looking for something, but I'm not sure this is for me. So I replied back to her that, why don't we get into a three-way chat where we can, show you what we have here. You might be surprised, but I'm just thinking, am I not qualifying her first before I get into three-way chat, or would you just do the three-way chat?
Okay.
No, I would do three-way.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Synara. You say it.
Okay, so if somebody says, I think I heard you say, I'm just not sure if this is for me. Like Tina Joy Carroll said yesterday, what did you say, Tina Joy? What was your expression? Objections are, gosh, what was the phrase you used? Objections are there was okay, you're going to give me the phrase, but the gist of it was, if it's an objection, she's actually interested.
Yeah,
She's just
objections invite conversation. Don't fear them.
Yes. So when somebody says, I'm just not sure this is for me, I say, I'm not sure if this is for you either. I'm under no illusion that everyone is going to love this. Let's start here. I'm going to send you an overview. It is a 30,000-foot view of our company. This is who we are, what we stand for. These are our products. This is our comp plan. Why don't we start there and watch that? And then let's get to the phone for 10 minutes. And it may be a short phone call because you may not be excited about what you see. And that's okay. There's something else out there that's for great for you. But why don't we start there? I'm going to send you an overview and then let's get on the phone for about 10 minutes and we'll just go from there. Okay. People always ask me, Synara, how are you such a strong recruiter? Okay. Number one, the strongest recruiters are just ask the most people. I guarantee you, Tina Joy Carroll, Rhonda Allison, Sarah Hollingsworth, me, I guarantee we're asking 10 times as many people as all of y'all. Okay. We're not strong recruiters. We're strong askers. We're getting more people into conversations, right? But my biggest recruiting technique is, this may not be for you. I'm not going to lie. I'm under no illusion that everyone is going to be excited about this company. When you come on too strong, you repel them. When you're almost a little bit standoffish, I get better results. So I make it seem like, I don't know if you're going to be a fit or not. It's kind of a 50-50. This is either going to be a love connection or not a love connection. And only you can decide that, to be honest. So I'm biased. I love this company. I love the products. I love the money. I love how I look and feel. But not everyone is going to share that same excitement. So why don't we start with an overview? That's a 30,000-foot view. And then let's talk on the phone. It might be a 5-minute conversation because you're not that excited about us. That's fine. I'm still happy to meet you. they feel so, when they feel like they're going to be strong armed or pushed or harassed or bullied or beaten over the head with a wet noodle, they don't want to connect with you. But when you make it very much like, I don't know if this is going to be right for you. I mean, that's something that only you can decide, but let's at least put some information in front of you. And that's the first step. And then let's get to the phone. I'll answer whatever questions you have. I'll provide some perspective and then sleep on it. Think about it, pray about it, whatever you like to do. Ball's in your court and you'll let me know. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Either way, I'm just so happy we met. I get 0 people refusing to talk to me. In fact, they're like, that sounds great. How does 10 a.m. look? I get everyone to the phone or a Zoom. In fact, when they say that, I always say, let's talk on the phone for 10 minutes and then, or let's connect. That's what I say. Let's connect. And then when they agree, I say, then I'm like, okay, awesome. Phone call or Zoom? What's better for you? I'm a relationship girl. Love seeing people face to face. I say that I'm a relationship girl. Love seeing people face to face. So many people will say, that sounds great. Others will be like, phone, I'll be in the car. Great. But I want the option. I want them to agree, yes, first, and then see if I can get them to Zoom, right? But here's the deal: you guys, you will recruit more people when you actually don't care if they say yes or no. You will recruit more people when you don't care. I don't care if Peggy Meyer says yes or no. I don't care. I don't want Peggy Meyer if I have to beg her, cajole her, talk her into it. I actually don't want her. She's going to be a drag on me. And when you get to the space where you really believe that, like, not everyone is meant to be here. Put a 1 in the chat if you have some people on your team that absolutely are not here for the business. They should never have been here to begin with. And we all have them. And by the way, no problem. They still contribute to volume. They're great people. This is not a diss on those people. But okay, nobody wants me to be a kindergarten teacher. I promise you guys, you do not want me to be teaching your kids in kindergarten, okay? That will be a disaster. Nothing wrong with me as a human, but I will tell you, take your kids out of that school immediately, all right? Not everyone is meant for that profession. Not everyone is meant to be an EMT. Sarah was an EMT. I would have melted down on day 1. The minute I saw blood spurting out of someone's neck, I'd have been like, oh my God, I'm getting dirty. Okay. I would have been in panic mode all the time. Not everyone is meant to be an EMT. It's a special human. When you guys can wrap your head around the notion that not everyone is meant to do what we do, just like an EMT, just like a kindergarten teacher, 2 very opposite professions, and us, you have to have there are certain traits, qualities, characteristics, personalities, and not everyone has them. So when Peggy Meyer says, I don't know if this is for me or not, it might not be for you. I don't know. Let's start with some information and then we'll decide from there. So is that helpful? But of course, here's the problem. A lot of you have a case of one-itis. I got to get Peggy to say yes. I got to get Peggy to say, I need my last PSA. You got a case of one-itis and you're hell-bent. You're going to move heaven and earth to talk Peggy into saying yes because you got no other irons in the fire and you're desperate. You're desperate. And so you're pushing a square peg into a round hole. Start talking to more people. Have 15 people in your funnel, not 1. And then you're going to start to find the right people. Okay, sorry, I went on a tirade there.
I like it.
No, you're good. I loved it. I was learning.
Same.
Let's see here. I gotta get caught up here. So Lisa says she has a girl from a different company who's interested, but they don't allow you to sell her the thing, so she's not sure what to do. How do I handle it? Lisa, she can't do 2, then she has to make a decision, and that's going to be on her. There's nothing you can do. You can only show her what we have and the systems we have. And if she's interested, then she'll move forward, but there's not a lot like you can do, right?
No.
Hang on. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Please elaborate on the Facebook groups. Who will be beneficial? I've joined a few, but no one is interested. Should I shoot for mainly health and wellness groups or all kinds? How do you handle other MLM groups who are trying to recruit me? Okay, this is a great question. So I think that you're asking this question about using Facebook groups to meet new people. And so I am in a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, I'm in a few Disney groups. I'm in some menopause, perimenopause groups. I'm actually in a lot of groups, but those are the ones I primarily focus in. And I'm just in there adding value in those groups. As a matter of fact, Lisa Ann is on here and she met Lori in a Facebook group because she commented on a post. Lisa, why don't you tell the story just so that you can talk about how you were in the group and explain how you use the group without being weird, salesy, or spammy or getting yourself kicked out.
Well, I ended up getting kicked out, but that's and it was someone just because they started the group for their own product and stuff like that. And Tina even said she made a huge mistake because she said she should have recruited you. Anyways, so I saw a post, I just commented, and it was a lady asking, she'd lost a bunch of weight and she had turkey neck. And I said, hey, I said I use a really great medical grade collagen. And people started messaging or like commenting. And so I just started messaging. And then Lori Kuhn saw it and was like, can I have some more information? And I just really followed the steps of what to do. And I said, I can send you more information. She was perfect. She did all the things she was supposed to do because she really wanted this. And so I did end up, but it was kind of one of those things, okay, I wasn't supposed to be there. So that's kind of how that went. I just answered the questions.
Yeah, just find things that you're genuinely interested in. I mean, if it's horseback riding, if it's boating, if it's people and their pets. Like, I don't even know the names of pets. I'm just like German Shepherds. If you're a German Shepherd person, get in German Shepherd groups. If you, if you're a Jeep person, I'm in Jeep groups, but you can't go into these groups. Like if you're a Jeep group, I'm just going to give you this right here. If you're in a Jeep group, you cannot go into a Jeep group and say, I can show you how to get your Jeep paid for. They're going to throw you out. And that is just gross. It's slimy. You don't want to do that. You want to be the person that's adding the most value in the group so that you stand out, and then they naturally go to your profile and want to know who you are. And then they start seeing that you're selling something or that there's an opportunity involved. You want to attract them to you, not repel them with, oh, I can get your Jeep paid for, right? So you just like whatever it is that are interest for you. If it's like, guys, put in the comments some of your interests, like things that you love, crocheting, whatever it might be. And then join group. There's groups for everything. Join groups that are around that so that you can meet people. Lori says she has a customer who's been saying she wants to do the biz for a few months and she's just not pulled the trigger. Lori, I would flat out say, whatever her name is, Susie, will you tell me what is holding you back? Just ask the question. Yesterday, all of the training was about asking more questions. And so ask her a question. What is holding you back? What is keeping you from saying yes right now? And then you are armed with the information to help with the next steps. Great question, Lynn. When you girls get stuck, what do you do to become unstuck? So I would ask you what you mean. Like, where are you feeling? I mean, actually, I don't even need you to tell me. You got to take action. The only way to get unstuck is to take action in whatever you're feeling stuck in. What would you say, Synara?
I literally was going to say, just move into action, do something. Go back and listen to the Power of One or whatever. And there was always a homework assignment. Go do that one thing. But see, the mistake that people make is they think, imagine if you were to say, I'm going to ride a bike when I know how to ride it. Well, how do you learn how to ride a bike without getting on the bike and wobbling and falling, right? You can't learn how to drive in a parked car, right? So some of you are sitting in a parked car and you're sitting there thinking like, well, I'm going to drive when I feel confident and know how to drive. Well, how are you going to do that if you don't ever take the car out of the garage, right? You've got to move into action and give yourself permission to be messy and sloppy and maybe even somewhat worthless and unproductive for a couple weeks. That's okay, you know? I want to go back to something someone asked earlier, and I guess I was thinking something came to me. What do you do when you have somebody who's another network marketing company and they can't do both, right? And Tina said, well, I don't know what to tell you. They got to make a decision. I do typically have a conversation with them though to try to help them make that decision. And the decision might be that they need to stay where they are, by the way. But usually what I say to them is like, okay, so Lisa, you can't do both. Okay. Well, we don't care, but your company does care. So let me ask you this. Do you feel like you are making the amount of money that you are worth at that company? You don't have to tell me what the number is. I'm not asking you how much money you're making, but this is the question. Do you feel like you're making the amount of money that you're worth in the time that you're spending on it? Because if the answer is yes, then maybe you've got a good thing going on. Maybe you just need to dig in and get better at it. Or do you feel like, actually, no, I feel like I'm at a little bit of a dead end. I feel like I'm not making progress. Second question is, do you feel like you have the leadership and the mentorship that you need to help you actualize what you're worth? If the answer is yes, then it sounds like you just need to work a little bit harder and dig in. If the answer is no, I think you need to make a switch. But I wouldn't throw good time after bad. If you're not making the money you're worth and you don't have the leadership or mentorship that you need to start to make the money that you're worth, I feel like you're at a dead end. So why throw good time after bad? Break ranks, start over, and give yourself a chance to actually reach the dreams and goals that you have for yourself.
Synara, Amy Culver wanted to know, how many calls do you think you have in a week, and how long are those typical calls lasting?
Calls for what? Like, this is a call.
Well, like when you get somebody on the phone with you to recruit them, like, hey,
Oh,
let's
well, I'm closing about 10 people a week. Obviously, some of them are three-way chats. So I'd say about 10. I'd say about 10. I have a couple every day. 10, 15, somewhere like that. A week times 4 weeks. That's what, 60? Wait, no, 15, 30. Yeah, that's like 60. I mean, I just, some of them are mine, obviously. Like last night, I had a call with someone that I'm trying to recruit for me, and some of them are for my downline. But that's my passion. My passion is bringing people into this business. Because here's my rationale. If you're truly passionate about the product and you want to change the world and you want them to make them healthier or whatever, I can do that also with them being an associate. I'm accomplishing both. I'm helping people with their health goals and I'm helping them make some money, even if it's just a couple $100, right? Like I'm accomplishing both. So for me, I don't understand why anybody wouldn't be number one priority is building a team. Because you're doing both at the same time. You're helping that person's health. And I know that my network is limited. So if I truly, in the deepest part of my heart, want as many people as possible to be on these products, my well runs dry. I only have a so big of a network. If you're truly passionate about that, then you're going to need an army of people to do it with you. Because when Julie comes on board, she has her 100 contacts, and Renee has her 100 contacts, and Cheryl has her 100 contacts. You're not going to get to any of those people. So it's a big focus for me.
Jennifer Lynn, did you have a question? You had your hand raised.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I apologize. I'm outside watering my tomatoes and it's bright as all get out here. So I don't want to blind everybody. I have a quick like mindset posture question that I could really use some feedback on.
To your team members. I mean, I'm not going to.
Oh,
Are you here? I don't know what that is.
there we go. Go ahead.
Okay. So, and I know I'm not the only one with this issue, so hopefully it helps everybody. Where I get like completely frozen in, for example, talking about the DHS is when somebody says, well, how much weight have you lost? I've been on it a couple months. I'm feeling a lot better. My energy's awesome. I can see some reduction in the inflammation in my face, but I haven't lost anything yet. So how do you how do you stay postured in that? I love when I've heard people say that, just because it hasn't worked immediately for you, don't rob somebody else of having that benefit, because I see other people where it works right away for, and I'm the kind of person where nothing has ever worked for me. So I'm just going to commit to it for a year and see what happens. But how do I stay postured in answering that question?
So Nicolette, I'm going to let you answer this one because you didn't need to lose a single pound when you got here. Will you talk about how you share a daily health system consistently when you didn't need to lose a single pound?
Yeah. So, I mean, what you're saying and how you're feeling, that is transformation already, just because it's not quite reflecting on the scale yet. So I would leave nothing uncelebrated in your own journey as you're experiencing what these products are doing for you, and leverage the testimonial group to show how they work for others, right? You're still new on your journey. If you're feeling less inflammation, that is huge. I talk about inflammation all the time when it comes to the daily health system. For me, it's like the weight loss thing. I could show people how that works, but I talk about inflammation the most, right? So keep a log, like keep a little notebook of the things that your inner dialogue when you're walking around and you're like, oh, I'm feeling this and that's great, or I'm noticing this about my face or whatever. Those things people do need to know and understand too. But if people are wanting to see weight loss results, that's where the testimonial group comes into play. Tagging them in those photos, taking those photos and sharing them on your social media as well, so people could see the diversity of how these supplements work for individuals with different goals.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Can I add to this by chance quickly? Okay. When Transform first came out, I could not figure out why my cravings for cigarettes was going away. I ended up quitting smoking. Wasn't losing the weight that everybody else was losing. However, I had test results from my endocrinologist regarding my thyroid that had changed. Like, so internally, your body might be doing other things that other people's bodies aren't doing, right? Maybe somebody else is noticing the weight loss. I was noticing I didn't have I wasn't having to take my medication for my endocrinologist anymore. I was not smoking, so there was different things of my cravings and stuff that I was noticing. So everybody's journey is different. So yeah, that's all I gotta say.
That's
I
super
love
helpful.
that.
Thank you, Christine.
Christine, is that testimony about you in the smoking thing in Look Good, Feel Good?
It sure is.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's a great
Yeah,
testimony.
it's in there. So
Cheryl said Transform made her not want to drink alcohol anymore. That is interesting.
there was
Wow.
a lady in conference one time that she had said she was in a closet alcoholic, and she quit drinking as well with it.
Wow. That's incredible. How would you open the recruiting conversation with an acquaintance in another company? Synara, how would you do that?
Oh, okay. So it's kind of the same thing. So I start with a lot of respect and I say, okay, Molly, I want to preface this conversation by saying, I know that you're a pampered chef. And I respect the fact that you're building a business there. And I'm going to assume that you absolutely love it. And with that said, I would love for you to take a peek at Trinan. Okay. Why? Why would I ask you to do this when you're somewhere else? Because I know how fast we're growing. I know the simplicity of our model. I know that wellness is one of the fastest growing genres in the e-commerce space. And quite frankly, it almost doesn't matter how much money you're making. I think you're worth more. I think you're worth more. So, would you be open-minded as a businesswoman? Just as a businesswoman, can you put on your businesswoman hat and check out our company? And the way I figure, there's only two possibilities are going to come out of it, and they're both a total win. Possibility number one is you don't like what you see, and I just boosted your pampered chef ego. You're just further convicted that you're exactly where you need to be. You check something else out, and it doesn't hold a candle. Or scenario number two is, holy buckets, this is way better. I am underpaid. This is a better model. And now you have the ability to really maximize your potential and earn what you're worth. But there is no losing. As a businesswoman, there's never any losing by looking and seeing what your competition is doing. And at the end of the day, anyone in the network marketing space is our competition.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my words.
So they want to know if you do voice clips.
I voice clip everything. I don't type one single thing. My authenticity and my personality and the genuineness that come out of my heart are what make me successful. I don't type anything. Everything is a voice clip. Everything.
Yeah, I can hear your.
The only thing that comes through as a message is when I'm like sharing a resource. Like, let's say Stephanie says, "Can you send me the comp plan?" I will type that up. Like, "Yep, here, let me just grab it. Okay, posted below." Otherwise, it's a voice clip. Lisa's asking, "Can we borrow Synara's brain for a month?" Oh my God, you guys, you
Listen,
don't want what's
let
up
me just
here.
say this about Sonara. You all are listening to her and you think, oh my gosh, if I could just be Sonara, if I could just be that confident, if I could just be how she speaks. And that's everything that you're all thinking right now. I don't even have to ask you what you're thinking, and you're thinking that. Do you know why Sonara speaks like she does? Because she does it every day. It's like brushing her teeth. She doesn't even think about it. So if you want to speak like Sonara, then you got to act like Sonara, and you got to start talking to people. And the more you talk to them, the better you will get at it. You won't fumble over your words much. Are you going to do it in the beginning? For sure. You've got to be willing to be an amateur before you go to the little leagues, and the little leagues before you go to the big leagues. Okay.
Yep.
It's okay to be a beginner. Give yourself permission to suck at this, to completely suck at it, so that you can get better. None of us got into this and we're good. Nicolette, were you great when you started?
No.
Aaron Parker, were you great when you started?
None of us were. You guys, we were rookies. Now some of us like have just been, we were rookies a long time ago, and so now we're a little bit more polished, but I rest assured we all started the same way, you know. But the biggest thing is, here's my piece of advice to you. Whatever you're thinking is probably what you should say. Too many of you dance around just being authentic. Someone will say to me, "Okay, what do I say to this girl?" It's like, "Okay, well, what do you want her to hear? What's the message you want her to hear?" "Well, I just want her to hear that I honestly think this is going to be better for her. She can be home with her kids. She's not out there doing parties." It's like they'll tell me all these, and it's like, "Okay, so why are you not saying exactly that? You know what you want her to hear. Just say it." And you know, I'm very business minded. And so, and I approach people with that level of respect that it's a business model. So I will say like, "Okay, Renee, I'm taking off my friend hat and I'm putting on a business hat. Okay, I'm talking to you as a businesswoman to businesswoman." So right there I'm elevating them. Or if it were Aaron Parker, all right, I'm speaking to, I want to have a conversation businesswoman to businessman, okay? Just we're at the boardroom, we're at a corporate table, cards are on the table, okay? That completely sets the tone. It's very different. You know, once you can get into the habit of making things more business minded, you're going to have more success, you guys. And take the emotion out of it. Stop making it about all of the other little things. Just make it like if I were a nurse, okay, a nurse at Columbia St. Mary's on a cardiac unit, and I got a call from a headhunter saying, "Hey, we are expanding our cardiac unit at St. Joe's. You come highly recommended. We offer the salary range is $15,000 more per year than you're making, and we'll give you an extra week of PTO." Is there a nurse on the planet that wouldn't interview for that job? She got a $15,000 raise. They're going to give her another week of PTO. Of course. And it's, oh, and by the way, you're working 3 12s and 4 days off instead of 5 days a week. Like, oh my gosh, yeah, let me interview. Let me see if I like, I know I've been in this situation myself. Like, yeah, I will interview. I'd love to meet the head of your therapy department. Like, of course, that sounds like an absolute, but that was a business decision. I don't owe anything to Columbia St. Mary's. I'm taking my talents elsewhere. You know what I mean? So when I approach people that are in the network marketing space, it's kind of that same perspective. Like, I want to start the conversation by just, I know that you're at Modere. Are they even open anymore? I don't even know. I know you're at XYZ. I respect the fact that you're there, and I'm going to assume that you're crushing it. I'm going to assume that you are just killing it over there. And with that said, with that as a backdrop, I would love for you to take a look at our company. Just businesswoman to businesswoman. And I'll tell you why. I tell them why. Why would I want her to? And that's where you speak from your heart. I think we have more to offer you here. I'm wondering if you can take a look at our opportunity. And I tell you what, there's going to be no losing. And there's only 2 possible scenarios after you watch that overview, and they are both a total win for you. Total. And then I usually will say something effective like, I know I get offered all sorts of opportunities. I always listen to them, always. Not necessarily because I'm thinking of going, but I want to hear how they position their opportunity. I want to know what my competition is doing. I will oftentimes learn something when I watch somebody else's overview. I try to get people try to recruit me every week. I always say, you know what, I'm 100% planted here, but send me the information. I always like to know what other people are doing.
I
Maybe
love
I'll
that.
learn something. Maybe I'll hear a little tip or trick. So use that when you're talking to that person who is at what network marketing company XYZ.
So Nancy says she thinks being a business-minded person really makes a difference. I'm a little person teacher background. Okay, so I was a train wreck person background. You become business minded by doing the activities. It's like I used to be 117 pounds heavier. Now I have a fit person and I go to the gym and I eat right and I do the things I'm supposed to. I had to become that person. And so give yourself permission to become that person. Give yourself permission to be messy in the beginning and then learn the skills. One of the beauties of this industry, you guys, is every single skill you need to be wildly successful at this, you can learn. And they're not hard. The hardest part of anything that we do is your ego. And that is it. If you can overcome your own ego telling you you're not good enough, you're bothering people, and all of the crazy things that we come up with in our head, if you can overcome that, you can have the success that you desire. And then you always have to just get back to why you're doing this to begin with, because then it makes the action easier, right? It's not that Synara and I or Sarah and I or Nicolette and I have the greatest day every single day. We all face the same obstacles. We all get ghosted. We all get ignored. We all get people that, say, weird things to us. It's just the difference is we don't allow those things to stop us. We just keep pushing forward and keep taking the next right step, keep talking to the next person. I don't have all my eggs in any one person's basket. Synara has a beautiful large team. I have a beautiful large team. I'm not counting on the team that I currently have, and Synara's not counting on the team she currently has to take us to the next level. We're always building. And so if you can stay in the mindset of who can I help next? Okay, you're just talking about one person. Who can I help next? And then help that person. Then who can I help next? And help that person. And understand that some people are going to want to run for the fences. And some people really do come into this because they enjoy the community and the culture. It's not about $1 million. It's worth $1 million to them just to get to be around uplifting, encouraging, kind people, because in their normal day-to-day life, that does not exist for them. That is why Synara, myself, Sarah, Nicolette, everyone that's on here is so protective of the culture, because the culture keeps and attracts people far longer than money will. Okay. And so just understand that too, as you're bringing people in. Don't expect everybody to want what you want. Allow people to be where they are and want what they want. And you just continue to meet people. Like Synara said, are you a 1 or a 2? I love her bathing suit analogy, spinning a sign, right? Like, which one are you? And then you know who you're dealing with, right? And it doesn't mean those people can't change at a later time. I love sharing the story of Heidi. Heidi was a jade, and she 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 was happy being a jade. And then her and her longtime partner, they weren't technically married, split. Suddenly she needed more money. Suddenly she was ready to step into action. So the person who never wanted more than jade forever suddenly wanted more. But had I been like, oh, well, like, yeah, whatever. She didn't even want to work this business. She didn't want to be a millionaire like me. Like, if I hadn't met her where she was and just loved her where she was, she probably would have gone somewhere else, because where somebody would have loved her where she was. Right. So you're so welcome, Stacy. Do y'all have any more questions? We have literally 8 minutes and we have to jump off of here. So any more questions, you guys, that we can help answer? How many got their 1? Put a 1 in the chat if you've already gotten your 1 so far. Way to go, everyone. That is so good.
Okay, guys, I want you to tell yourself failure's not an option. Here is the reality. 60% of people in your network already have a side hustle. That's the most statistic. 60% are doing something, even if it's just something simple like reselling clothing and shoes on Poshmark to make 50 or 100 bucks, right? 60% of the people that you know do something, big or small, to make a little bit of extra money. Maybe babysitting kids on the weekend, Instacarting, tutoring, teaching violin lessons, like just, it's a couple $100 here and there to like help them get by, right? 60%, that is what the most recent statistic is, which is pretty wild. What that means is that 6 out of every 10 people that are in your network have money on their mind. That's it. They have money on their mind. They're not reselling clothes on Poshmark because it gives them joy. It's like, you know what? I wore this fancy dress one time. I spent $150 on it. If I can get $50 for it, that'd be great. The person that has a garage sale, why do they do that? Because they're looking for some money. That's a lot of work to make a couple $100. You know what I do? I take it all to Goodwill. Like, they did that because they want some extra money. So if you can just have in your mind that like people really they want opportunity. I am going to think of one quality that would make that person a fit here. Just one. Hey, I noticed you have like 2,000 Facebook friends and you're really active on social media. Are you keeping your income options open? Because I feel like you could totally monetize what you're already doing at the company I'm with. Okay, it's going to sound different for every person. Think of one quality and just say, are you keeping your income options open? If I sent you something, would you look at it? They are keeping their income options open or they wouldn't be doing a garage sale. Duh. Double duh. It's like, yes, of course. They're keeping their options open or they wouldn't be Uber driving. Nobody says, you know what I really want to do today? I want to drive a stranger to the airport at 4:30 in the morning. That's what I want to do with my day today. Said nobody ever. They're doing it for the money. So a lot of you just honestly have to just have a paradigm shift, have your head on a swivel and just look at all the things that are going on around you and that are already under your nose and just approach them and just say like, listen, I have something that might be up your alley. It's a company in the wellness space. It's called Tronat. Products are freaking amazing. The income is awesome. I notice you're doing a garage sale, obviously, for some extra money. Are you keeping your income options open? I'd love for you to look at this. You will get your one, guys, if you literally just open your eyes to what is going on around you. It is under your nose. You will get your one, right? And then approach them with the tone and the vibe of, I don't know if this is going to be for you. I always say, I can't promise you're going to be as excited about it as I am. That's something that only you can decide. But I can tell you, it's way too promising and way too much money to not at least look at it. To not at least look at it. And just go out there and make something happen, you guys. Okay, final words, Tina.
No, I mean, here's the thing. You have the tools to go out and make this happen. You have the access to the leaders to do three-way chats, three calls, three-way Zooms, whatever you need to help close your one. The only way this happens is if you take action. That's it. You have to take the action. If you spent this week learning and you don't take the action, you literally just wasted your time. And I don't want you to waste your time. I want you to go take the action. And even if you're scared, I get it. Like, trust me, gosh, I get it. I was so scared when I first started sending messages to people. It just made me feel sick to my stomach to do it. But the more I did it, the easier it got. And now I don't even think about it. And it's just part of who I am. The only way to get there is to send the message. And so how many of you, and being honest, have been just stuck in fear and you're not taking any action, right? So it's a lot of you. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take some action today, and it has to be income producing action. I want you to send a message, whether it's to someone that was supposed to jump on last night and you need to send them the replay so they can watch it, whether it's you're going to get somebody into the group and you're going to tag them in a testimony. I want you to take an action today that starts a conversation about the products or the business. Because if you don't, in a year from now, you're going to be frustrated. And a lot of the reason you're frustrated isn't the company, the products, the comp plan, the leadership, any of those things. A lot of the reason you're frustrated is you didn't do what you said you were going to do. And you've let you down. And if you'll stop letting you down, you'll build confidence. If you'll start taking the action slowly, you'll start to rebuild trust with yourself and you'll feel good about what you're doing. But you are the only person that can do that. Yes, Sarah, people get paid on Fridays. There isn't a better day to follow up. Start following up with people. They got paid today. And ask them if they're ready. Just flat out say, listen, you said you were interested. Are you ready to get started today? I'm so excited to help you. So just go take the action. Sarah, why don't you close this out?
Yeah, I mean, really, there's not much else to say. I absolutely love that. We know that, again, guys, go back and rewatch some of these today. Keep utilizing it. This whole month, you have the whole month to get your one. But stay postured, you know, and listening to Synara, if you guys can feel that posture, she steps into every conversation with a strong posture. And we talk about this. Walk into all your conversations today postured, because what we have people need and they want. It's okay if they don't see that yet, we move to the next one. I won't reiterate everything that was said, but stay postured, guys. Really, we do have something so special here. So incredibly unique. And if you did not get people on the overview last night, send that recording. It was so powerful. It was a really good one. And Erin just uploaded it. Share those with your prospects today, products and business. Use the tools. Okay, so I think that's it. We love you guys so much. Feel free to reach out with any other questions. Utilize these trainings. Make sure that your team gets on these trainings. One more quick thing. If you have not signed up for Rob Sperry's training, do it today. We're running out of time before he closes it. And I know it's been said before, guys, but to get this caliber of coaching for this price is not a thing that you're going to get. This is a deep dive that you're not going to be able to get any other time. And he's doing it special for us. So get your teams on to that training. Get them signed up. There's payment plans. There's all kinds of ways that you can come in. But I'm telling you right now, it'll change your whole business. Get into that blitz for sure. So, okay, guys, we love you so much.
Bye, y'all. Have a great Friday, everybody. Bye.